Baxter?
Maybe even to that, too. Yes.
If you would, please. The judge is ready to hear the petition for your client's release on bail.
Thank you so much. Excuse me.
Do you think I ought to get a lawyer for Teddy?
Think you better, Ann.
But...
Bye-bye now.
Well, Teddy signed his statement?
He identified Cooper and Cars, the two in the back of the truck.
Good.
Admitted to most of what went on that night, including throwing at the school, the Amish houses, and the buggies. Only now he's changed what he said first about the Creek Road. Says he doesn't remember they were ever on it.
Oh, come on. No.
His mother's a good lady. Doesn't need this kind of trouble. Stupid kid.
Yeah, well, any chance you'll get him to tell the truth in court?
I don't know. I can talk to her.
Yeah, please do.
I'll do my best. She's probably the only one who will.
Yeah, listen, I ran into Paul Cooper's father outside. He says everybody, man and boy, harassed the Amish.
He's wrong. It's only 50%.
He made it sound like a rite of passage.
Been that way ever since I can remember, Jim. That doesn't make it right. It's just accepted.
And there's never been one case taken into court?
You have to understand, the Amish don't just read the Bible. They live by it, including turn the other cheek. Not a bad way to live.
Unless you're the only ones who do.
A reporter from the Chicago Tribune called. You want me to get him for you?
No, thank you. As if we didn't have enough trouble on our hands. That Chicago hotshot the Cars hired, how good is he?
The best? Law clerks in Chicago give their eye teeth to work for him. I would have. He's already got his defense mapped out. I need a witness, Steve. I need a witness.
I know.
I should have stayed out at the Schuler place that night. I should have followed up with her daughter about what she saw.
What makes you think Jacob would have let you?
So, did you find anything on Creek Road?
I had a crew out there all weekend. Some stones, pieces of clay, tile, nothing with even a trace of blood on it.
Okay. Listen, put out a request for information statewide. Any cases, current or recent, involving the Amish, preferably, where one of them was willing to testify.
Okay, only don't count on it.
I'm not. I'm just, I'm looking for anything that might change Jacob's mind.
Decide what the charge is going to be?
Yeah, reckless homicide. What?
I think we got a lot of work ahead of us. I went out and played for myself once when I was 14, 15. Thought you'd want to know.
One case at a time. Where's that word come from? Claping.
Clapes is a derogatory name, some people call it. It goes back so far, I don't think anybody remembers anymore where the word came from.
So, what are you going to do when your boy's old enough to go out claping?
I hope I'll teach him better.
Lasst uns beten. Unser Vater, der du bist im Himmel, dein Name werde geheiligt, dein Reich komme, Dein Wille geschehe auf Erden wie auch im Himmel. Gib uns heut unser tägliches Brot.
No one can say what effect this tragedy, which struck the small Amish community, will have on the attitudes of the larger community in which they live. As for the 4 boys who are alleged to have killed the Amish baby, in a night of violence that I am told included 24 other attacks on the Amish, chances are little or nothing will be done to bring them to trial. Among those I spoke
She's
to
wrong.
in town, the editor of the local newspaper said,
Listen, Jim,
this happens, people get upset.
I was born and raised around here. I know most of the folks involved personally.
From the graveside of Esther
But I am also a peace officer. I have been all my life. And you don't have a corner on not liking what happened or why it happened. Okay?
Hey, I'm on your side.
This is a very quiet, peaceful county. The shame is a tragedy like this can happen.
Do you think that's how most people feel?
Of course, most of them.
Well, then how do you explain the violence? It's not as though this is an isolated incident, is it?
We're going to see that it is prosecuted to the full
Jim,
extent
we're ready.
of the law.
Okay.
I hope you're not going to make it sound like we got some kind of crime wave here in Fulham.
Well, I have spoken with some people here in Fulham, and one of them said that they didn't think this would have
Problems?
happened.
No,
The
it'll
boys
work out.
just had something to do on Saturday night.
You don't thrash around in bed all night when you think it's going to work out.
Oh, come on, we're gonna be late.
Hey, I can help you with this.
Okay. Okay. Is the sitter here for Vicky?
Yeah.
Stop hounding those kids unless you want what the Clates get.
Yeah, it's just a crank letter. It's nothing to worry
Jim, how
about.
about letting me put a car out? of the
No,
house?
no.
Please,
Susie,
no,
get all
miss.
worried. No, it's a bad idea. I just thought you should know about it.
All right. You sure now?
Yeah, thanks.
Can I see a minute of Jim?
Stay dry.
What is it, Mr. Ames?
You catch that woman on the TV station in Winston-Salem? Boy, she's going out of her way to make it sound like our favorite sport is terrorizing the Amish.
Well, that's what one of the 4 said they were doing, terrorizing.
Those people turn up their noses at the way we live. But that doesn't stop them coming in to use our phones, riding in our cars when it suits them.
Homer's waiting for
Now,
us.
you don't know the 4 boys' families personally, so you can't have an idea how tough all this is on them.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Well, I just hate to see you make trouble for yourself, Jim, by making trouble for others.
I don't think that's what it's really about, do you?
What else? The kids didn't mean any harm. They were just fooling around.
Well, I wonder how you'd feel, Mr. Ames, if some kids were just fooling around and they killed your baby. Not too smart, huh?
Had to be said, maybe not that way.
Well, that's what you get for marrying a Chicago street kid.
Spare me. Let's go.
Hey, they giving you a rough time up there?
It's all your fault, Holmes.
Me?
Yeah, you got me this job, didn't you?
Guilty as charged. Well, I figured getting you appointed to fill out the year as county prosecutor might help. But with you being new in town and all, starting a private practice.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm not so sure about him. I'll tell you something. Next time around, you're going to have to get yourself elected to the office, and the Amish don't vote.
So what did you do in cases like this?
I never had one. All the years I was prosecuting, never once had an Amish come in and bring charges. Any real damage done was paid in cash or kind. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it's always going to be.
So what's the price on a baby?
Jim?
I know what you're feeling, Jim, and I respect you for it. But take my advice as a friend. You want a place here for you and yours? Don't go trying to change too much too fast.
Whoa, where are you going? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare him. He's about the same age as my son.
Yeah, Peter. No. He just doesn't always like to talk to people.
You sure can't dream, though.
He will get over it.
Why should he?
Boys grow up, Mr. Sandler. They learn that the ways of God are different from games.
Suppose you're right.
We are taught to believe in two kingdoms, one of light and one of darkness, God's and Satan's.
What happens when one invades the other?
Be transformed.